A room has 4 walls. An office is a room with 4 walls that starts with an O. Office. You can also spell it. Your textbook says to spell it. Office. Secretary, signed secretary. Or sometimes it starts from the ear, like think of a secretary with a pencil behind her ear. Some people do it with a U handshape. I don't tend to sign it with the agent marker. Some people do. Secretary. I don't use an agent marker, just secretary. Administration. Administration. So it's an A that starts on your weak side, goes across to your dominant side. Administration. Principal. It's a P that circles and then lands on the back of your palm, the back of your weak hand. I'm sorry. Principal. It's a P that circles around and then lands on the back of your weak fist. Principal. Assistant principal. Assistant, so think of the sign to help. This is like, but with A's, assistant principal. You also see AP, because that's often how they're addressed. Counselor. This is the sign for advice. It's actually a directional sign, so you can say he advised me. But when we're talking about a counselor at school, it's counselor. So advice, counselor, or counselor. The sign for library is an L that makes a circle. Library. So a librarian is a library person. Librarian. Clinic. It's a C that makes a cross on your sleeve. So think about a medic in a hospital. Think about a medic in the army. He's the guy with the red cross on his sleeve so that you know who can help you if you get injured. Or nurses with a red cross on their sleeve. Speaking of nurses, that sign is nurse. So it's kind of a U handshape that takes your pulse. Nurse. Again, does not need the agent marker. Cafeteria. We've seen a bunch of signs that look like that. Cafeteria. And that's where you eat lunch. So the sign for lunch is actually 2 signs put together. It's eat and noon. Lunch. You can eat breakfast there too, but most of the time we eat lunch there. Eat at noon. Next we have auditorium. Auditorium. It's the rows of all of the seats where everyone's sitting there in rows. Auditorium. This is the sign for exercise. So a gym, we just do that with a G handshape. Gym or gymnasium. Along with that goes PE, physical education, PE. We also have athletics. It's the same as the sign for sports. So you'll also see the sign for race or competition. So think about this person's ahead and then that person's ahead and it's neck and neck and who's going to cross the finish line first is, oh, he won. Okay, sports, competition, race. Next we have lockers. Locker. So it's a Y handshape that kind of looks like the handle on a locker. Locker. And then lockers are kept in a locker room. Locker room. Many sports are played outside in a big grassy area, so that's the sign for field. Grass area. So it's sort of a C hand on your chin, palm in. So I picture a horse in a feed bag, right? And then that's the sign grass, and then you just a big open area of it. Field. Here at Richland we have a field house, so that's a grass area building. It's not actually a house, nobody lives there. A lot of the coaches are there a lot, but they don't actually live there. Grass area building. Think about Legos and how they fit together, right? How you kind of have to alternate them so that the building has more stability? Building. So grass area building is the field house. Speaking of coaches, this is the sign for captain because he wears epaulets on his sleeve. So you will also see that sign for coach, for boss. Sometimes you'll see it with a C, but that's not really necessary. This is fine. Captain, coach. Like I said, that can also be your boss at work. Detention. So if you've been punished, you might be sent to ISS or detention after school. Fall is the season of the year. That's a flat hand. Detention is just a 1. Punishment. And now, this is the hardest sign in all of American Sign Language. Are you ready? Hallway. I know it's hard. I know you can't imagine where that comes from. I know it's, okay, this is sarcasm. This is just really simple sign. Think about how the walls look. Hallway. When giving directions around this building, an important landmark would be the trophy case. So this is the sign for trophy. Okay, think about like a loving cup with the handles on it, right? So trophy case. Trophies where they're lined up against the wall. We have several snack machines in the building. They tend to be empty now because of COVID, but snack machine. So it's really a food machine. We also have a number of soda machines. Soda. That's one of my favorite signs. That one's just really cool. So your middle finger pops the top and then it pops, right? So you pop the top and then pop. Soda machine. We also have an elevator. Elevator. Well, there are lots more signs to learn, but this will get you started for now. Happy signing.